Hi, I'm Heather, and this is a knitting update number 11 for Friday, January 23rd. All right, this is gonna be super short because I don't have much to show, and I have to leave in a minute because I'm meeting my aunt for lunch. I'm at my favorite place, and I'm gonna try to hit up the Wool Bin yarn store in Oakville first for a minute to grab one thing that I need. So, let's see. Yesterday I showed my sock, and I have made progress on it. This isn't the best point to show you it at, but yeah. So I just finished the heel and I'm starting the gusset. And I did the heel in the Manos del Uruguay Alegria, but this is a colorway spirulina, and it is like my favorite color ever. Yeah, I think it doesn't really like match this, but I like it together. I really like it together. And I think I'm going to do a third color for the toe, but I'm still undecided because as much as I like the color blocking and like doing contrasting heels and toes and stuff, I hate how many more ends I have to weave in afterwards. It's not a big deal, but you know, it does add more ends. Oh, I didn't talk about what I'm wearing. So you've already seen this Six of Daisies cardigan by Deegan. I love this sweater, actually. I feel like I don't wear it enough, so I'm wearing it today. My aunt is also a knitter, so I think she'll appreciate this. And then, I don't think I've worn this hat yet, but this is the Omimi toque. The pattern is by Goodnight Day. I knit it up in a yarn that I got at Kingsbrave Gardens out in the East Coast, I think in New Brunswick, I want to say. Yeah, they had it at their gift shop, and I guess it's alpaca made from, they have alpacas at the gardens, so I guess they actually get the fleece milled up and they sell it in the gift shop. I think this was the only colorway they had, and I bought 2 skeins, and I originally knit it as a big fluff hat or whatever by Spectacle Strick, but I never wore it because it was too slippery and too heavy. I also held mohair with it. Last year on my way to Rhinebeck, I frogged that one and I re-knit it as this Omimi too, because I was also working on a honeycomb dicky, which has, now I'm trying to make it into a sweater, and that project has been put on pause because I don't know what to do with it, and I don't know if I'm just gonna frog it and start over, or if I should just rip it back a bit and do more honeycombs. I don't know. And then do the sleeves. I just like get so intimidated because I don't have a pattern to follow. Anyway, so I knit this to match that dicky, which I haven't finished. And to be honest, I like this toque, but it is very, I think the alpaca makes it so slippery, and it is very warm. So today it's really cold out. It's like minus 21 degrees Celsius or 24 or something like that. So I think it'll be okay for wearing outside, but when I get to the restaurant, I don't know if I'll be able to keep it on. But anyways, I digress. So I showed you my sock. Yeah, I made some good progress on it. This is like the ugliest phase, I feel like, or I guess when it's just the heel flap. So looking forward to finishing that. I feel like I could even maybe finish that this weekend, because now it's just going to be almost just stockinette. Like the front is still going to have the pearl ridge rib, but it's really just like 3 rows of knit and then 1 purl. So it'll be very quick. And then I also made some progress on my White Mountains. So I'm loving how this looks. I'm more than halfway done the raglan increases. I think I have 20 rows of raglan increases left to do. So it won't take me too much longer. When I was working on this the other day, I kept screwing up the raglan increases. Like I would forget one, and thankfully every time I forgot one, I would notice it like 10 stitches later, but every time I'd have to like, you know, go back and fix it. So I did put this aside because I was like, no, I don't want to be making mistakes that I don't catch. Yeah, but I still think the progress is pretty good, and I'm not in a hurry. I feel like maybe just mostly since I started doing these videos, I'm like really barreling through projects and getting stuff done so fast. Like I almost feel like, how am I going to keep up this pace? Like how many sweaters do I need? How many socks do I need? how much of anything do I need to be knitting at this like frenzied pace. So I'm okay with just taking my time, and if I feel like I'm not in the headspace to work on this, or I notice I'm making mistakes, that I don't want that to happen. So I'd rather just take my time with things, and hopefully I still have some content I can upload, or I guess I don't have to upload every day if I don't have stuff. But yeah, I think I better get going to the yarn store. So I don't know for sure if I'll film anything in the yarn store, because also I'm gonna have to be kind of quick in and out, and then make my way over to the restaurant to meet my aunt. We'll see what happens. Otherwise, this is just gonna be a really short video. See you. Maybe tomorrow, maybe at the yarn store. Bye. Alright, here we are at the Wool Bin in Oakville, Ontario. Their hours are Wednesday through Saturday, 11 to 5. They have a huge selection of Rowan yarns. This is all Rowan at the front here, and there's some BC Garn there hanging up. In the middle, I think, is more Juniper Moon, and to the left there is Estelle yarns. They have a lot of commercially made, commercially dyed yarns here, and there's a huge selection of drops in the back. There's some Noro here. There's also more Noro in the back I didn't show. It kind of got busier when I was in here, so I only filmed really at the front of the store, unfortunately. And here's some cashmere yarns. And the issue that I have with this store is they don't have prices on anything, which isn't my favorite, but the staff here are lovely, and it's a great store. It's worth checking out if you're in Oakville. Alright, I'm back from the yarn store. It is later in the day. It's 4 o'clock, but it looks more like nighttime because it is snowing again. And it was such nice, sunny, bright weather on my way home, and I was like, oh good, I can film when I get home. But then I had to stop one more place, and when I came out of the store it was like whiteout conditions, and now it's like that. I think I probably put some clips of the yarn store in here, and now I'll just show you what I got. So I went there with the goal of just getting one specific thing. Maybe I'll show you that first. So I had a plan of making this Chako vest by Kiyomi Burgin. I had gone to this wool store a couple weeks ago in search of a mohair type yarn for this pattern. So I bought these 3 skeins. And they are Shibui knits, and this is the only store I know of that still carries Shibui knits. And the woman who works there told me when they found out that Shibui was no longer going to be making yarn, the shop owner went crazy and just ordered so much Shibui, to the point that, like, I think they had stopped yarn production, as now it's been years, but they're still carrying it. They still have it. So I got these 3 skeins, and my plan was to hold it with this Madeline Tosh Merino Light in the colorway Optic. And I was gonna make the Chako vest. Then I showed my husband the Chako vest, and I was like, this is the one. I'm like, I'm gonna make this with, I bought this yarn. This is my plan. And he looked at the pattern and he said, I don't know. I trust his judgment. He also is was a graphic designer, so I think he has like opinions about things, but I think they're coming from the right place. And normally I don't really care what people think about like what I'm gonna wear or whatever, but if there's one person who will sway me, it's him. That kind of took the wind out of my sails, and I was like, I don't think I want to make that. And there is actually another vest pattern that I've been really excited to make, and it is I know I'm gonna say the wrong name because I keep calling it the Commando vest, but that's not what it's called. But I'll put the picture and the pattern name here, and the designer. The designer is Mika. She's Japanese, and she just released a book through Lina, I think last year, called Knit Pop. So she just released this vest pattern that I keep calling the Commando vest. It's a cardigan, like button up, very boxy, very cropped, well, not very cropped, but cropped vest pattern. I've been super excited about it. So my husband kind of poo-pooed the Chako. I was like, well, I can pivot to this one that I can't stop thinking about, but I don't have enough, and I can use the same yarn, but I don't have enough of it. So today when I was going to meet my aunt for lunch, it's kind of near where the yarn store is, so I went there again to see if they had any more of the Shibui tweed silk cloud in bone, and guess what? they didn't. Even when I came into the store, I kind of like beelined for the basket because they're also all on sale. And the woman, it was the same woman that I saw last time I was there, and she's like, oh, are you looking for that same thing? I don't think we have any more of that color. And I was like, okay, I already had that in my head because I knew it was pretty limited, the amount of the bone colorway that they had left. But I'm fine with doing a contrasting color, so this is what I got. So it's the same, but it's in the tar colorway, and this is how it'll look together. I think it'll be super nice. I'm not sure, but they do have more of the tar. I'm not sure about doing the light for the body and the dark for the ribbing. I guess also maybe they had enough that I could have just done it all in these two. But I do want to use the bone that I already bought, and I really like the color of it, so I'll probably make it work. And I think I can always go back and get more of the tar colorway one if I need to. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.